Hey there, I thought I'd log on and record a quick Blitz game. I actually just recorded one in which I won, which is a rare event. But right in the middle of it, somebody came to my door, and I had to leave for like 5 minutes. And rather than try to edit that out, I thought I'd just record another one. So I'm on lichess. I'm in the mid-1700s. I'm playing luisxh. My third Scandinavian game in a row. The last two were advanced variations. Let's play the Qd8 because that's what John Bartholomew plays. I'm already not sure what I'm doing. This move, I mean, I want to play c6 anyway, so I can just get a free tempo here, right? Yeah, let's just continue. Do I want to pin the knight, or do I want to play bishop f5? Let's pin the knight. I don't need to be... I'm usually trying to be conscious about some sort of bishop takes tactics, but since the bishop isn't able to reach f7, I don't think that's an issue. So, alright, let's continue. Let's develop. I think these are just routine developing moves. Maybe I can pin this knight and threaten to wreck his structure. I think this is okay. Well, then does he have knight here? No, he doesn't. All right, so I want to pin the knight specifically to eliminate knight e4, which could be gross. I will take that. That's okay with me. I'm giving up a dark square bishop, which is probably a good bishop for me, but wow, do I want to give up both my bishops? So if queen takes, now he's another attacker on this, so maybe I don't. Do I have anything tricky here? I don't think I have anything tricky here. If I move my bishop back, let's move the bishop back, preserve the pin. If he plays this, okay, so he doesn't. I don't have to worry about that. I was gonna drop my bishop back further and hope that I could take advantage of his weakened kingside, but that's not going to be an issue. So this knight is still pinned. I think I need to, if I develop here, I could maybe bring my knight to, yeah, let's go for this. Actually, that same argument could have made with the knight here. I was saying that it has access to this square. So that was probably a mistake. Yeah, and he rules out my future knight movements. But maybe I have this knight relocation to this nice square on d5. So he's threatening my b pawn, which is something I need to worry about. With this move, he has this bishop to pin this knight, but then I have this knight to e5, which might be okay. So let's start by playing this knight to e5. This looks like a strong piece. I'm not really worried about any sacks here or any sacks here. So I guess I do need to be wary about that if I ever somehow get this rook off the back rank. Yeah, okay, so he protects the square, which is required. That's not a move. Can I build up pressure on that square? So if I play here, he can push it perhaps. But then I can take here. I think in the end of that line, I would win a piece. So if he pushes here, not a piece, a pawn, I can take this bishop. Okay, so can I win a pawn here? My knight is going to end up pinned. Oof, this is tactical and scary. Can he build up pressure on this knight? Oh, okay. So this, I think, is fine for me. That surprised me. He just relieves some tension. Ooh. So if I take here, I can just wreck all of your structure. That's got to be good. I'm going to gang up on these pawns. I could take this knight now and wreck it even further. But at this point, am I overvaluing destroying your structure? You know what? If I take this knight, I don't see how you're going to end up defending this pawn. Which rook? That's the question. I don't see how you're going to end up... Ooh, it should have been the other rook. This fucking b pawn. See, okay, so I'm gonna have to spend a move to protect my b pawn. He has a light square bishop, so maybe I get all my pawns on dark squares. Now I'm gonna win a different pawn, I think. Do I take this first? Let's take this first, get a tempo on the rook. Yeah, you have a lot of good squares to which you can go, sir. Oh, man, I really wish I had moved my other rook to the d file. Yeah, good point. Just shutting things down by stuffing my knight in his face. This game is slipping out of my hands, which, oh, he's gonna get 2 rooks. So this is not good. Let's try to create a passed pawn. So take here. I think I have a good chance at passing my c pawn down to queendom. So for instance, oh man, maybe that was a lie. Is he gonna get a perpetual? I only have a minute left. I think I have to take it. So he can take here and perhaps get a perpetual. Just take all of these pawns. Yeah. I think I'll take a perpetual at this point, just because of the time. Pretty sure I'm not going to get mated. I have to be a little careful about that. Yeah, so let's just check it back and forth a while. Is this mate? Oh my god. This has been a long morning. Let's say good game, because that's what you do. What did I have to do here? So when you checked here, I had to go here. That was rough. All right, let's analyze the game. Oh, he said yes. That's nice. Let's see what happened. Off the bat, my instinct was that I should have played my f rook to the d file because this one had an important role of guarding the b pawn. I didn't stop to think long enough about that. But I think the opening went well. I think this bishop out to b5 was a mistake because I just get a free tempo on it. Pin city. So I damage your structure. This knight, yeah, okay, so clearly this knight should have gone here. To knight b to d7. Yeah, because if I had played knight b to d7 here, let's see, where am I? This move. His response was this. I would still have had this, for example. And my knight's going to get to this square. Yeah, that's clearly... All right, let's see what the computer has to say. So I'm confident with all of these things. It didn't like a3. That's a big advantage, a full pawn advantage. Because I have queen a5 to maybe round up this pawn. You have bishop back. What line does this say? Huh. It's interesting. Okay, so yeah, I guess I missed queen a5 a bunch. So I guess what I should remember is after I damage the structure, this pawn immediately before it has a chance to push is weak. And so I should target it immediately. And I can't target it with the knight because it's pinned. I could target it with queen a5. I guess I had ruled that out because what happens if queen a5, you take here? See, I just have to damage my structure, but I guess my king might end up pretty cozy on d7. But all right, that's fine. No blunders here. It's just gonna say queen a5 every move, so that's fine. Bishop e8, rook b8, knight c to d5. So it liked knight c to d5. What happens if rook takes? In between move, knight takes, queen up. Wow. So when I was here and I played rook b8, my only thought was my b pawn is unguarded. I should have thought I could gang up on this and get a tempo on it. So I could have given up the b pawn for this tactical resource, which I didn't do, but that's okay. Yeah, I thought bishop c3 was a mistake. He could have played g4 here. Yeah, I might have sacked for it. But what if I played here? Yeah, it's getting a little scary. I might have sacked for that, actually. Because this file's open for my queen, so I could potentially get an attack going. But he takes. Let's get rid of these arrows. Which I'm very happy with. Queen e3 seems like a mistake. You've just lost a pawn. If I take your queen back, as I did in the game, these double isolated pawns are awful. And I can clearly get any number of rooks on the file to attack them. And furthermore, I can give you double isolated pawns like this. So I'm very happy here. If only I had converted. So let's see where I went wrong. c5 was a mistake. Yeah. Why is that a mistake? Because I'm probably gonna end up winning this pawn anyway. Why am I gonna let him take one of my pawns with it? You know. And when he takes, I end up with an isolated pawn. Why am I allowing this? So like b5 instead. I don't know about b5. What about like just rook up trying to double? How does it feel about that? So you're gonna attack my a pawn. Okay, so I see the point of b5 now. If I had played b5, I'm cutting out these squares for the rook where it would like to go to attack my backward pawns. So that's a good structure to know. These things when the rook can't go anywhere else. So I see how b5 would have been better there. So he's attacking the a pawn. This is a mistake I frequently make, actually. I get too defensive in these sort of situations. I spend the move to try to defend a pawn with my rook, but usually it's better to just take as many pawns as you can while they're taking as many pawns as they can, assuming you've calculated it out. Because in this case, if I take here, you take here, I can take here, and I'm threatening this pawn, so king up, for example. So in that whole situation, starting from here, I would have won these two pawns, whoops, while he would have won this pawn. So I should have just seen that. I was actually thinking, if I take here, you take here, I only had eyes for this pawn, which was defended. I didn't even look at this pawn. So had I seen this, I probably would have gone for that, I think. So I think I just didn't spend enough time on that move. I think, okay, I would have seen that in a standard game, let's just say. Rook f to d8, take. So I have these hanging pawns. Yeah, just allowing his rooks, two rooks, to get to the back rank, or the 7th, is JV. I liked rook a to c8. Oh, wow. Look at that. Why didn't I see that? So the point is that I was deciding which pawn do I want to let him take when I'm, where am I? Right here. Moving one of these rooks. I should have let him take the a pawn. Why am I going to let him take this pawn? Because then he's going to take this pawn and this pawn. Yeah, so definitely should have moved the A rook there. This is gross. Checkmate is unavoidable. Yeah, this usual thing here, and what am I going to do about it? He's threatening this. Ugh. Yeah, the 2 rooks in the 7th. So I guess I don't feel quite as bad about blundering away mate at the end, which is what happened because he had mate anyway. But so the lesson learned is that, well, with respect to the 2 rooks in the 7th, putting my knight here is telling him, okay, you could put 2 rooks in the 7th. Better would have been pressuring this knight or this pawn. Maybe I can double up on it. Probably not. Back rank issues. Yeah, that's an unfortunate ending to that game. But lessons learned. Let's try not to make the same mistakes in the future. My goal is to hit 1800 today. We'll see if that happens. I'm going to certainly keep trying. But thanks for tuning in. Take care.